All right.
All right.
Welcome
Hey,
to episode 13.
episode 13.
We were just talking about midlife crisis, and I hit the recording button because I wanted I didn't want to cut it off. I think it's a beautiful topic. And all of a sudden...
And number 13 kind of goes along with it.
13. Did we say it's episode 13?
It's episode 13.
It's episode 13.
Of
Affiworks
Owner
Talk podcast.
Episode 13.
It's beautiful. Beautiful. So what's going on? I think today is going to be a lot about improvisation. So that's going to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I actually have a topic that I'm going to talk about and improvise.
Okay.
So that should be interesting. And I don't know if you have something you want to talk about.
I think we can. I think we can definitely talk about the fact that we are starting to talk to suppliers. I don't think it's a topic which we mentioned last time.
Yes.
I think
I don't know.
Something which we can talk about today.
Yeah, it's very important. And by the way, I want to say before we get into the podcast, I want to say hello to Bradley. Bradley Stabenow from Needville, Texas.
Hey, Bradley.
Our listener,
fantastic,
or viewer or something. I don't know, but he posts comments. A great guy. I love him. He's from Needville, Texas. That's right next to Houston. A great insurance agent, a great friend of mine. I was in Texas this year, and I was also in Texas the year before, and always taking a great care of him, and his family and his friends and the whole community. Amazing. The most amazing people I met in Texas. So hello, Bradley, and
shout out to everybody in Needville
and cheers.
Cheers. Oh, cool.
It's 9 p.m. here, so I'm loosening up with a glass of rum.
Oh yeah, you
we need to mix things up a little bit, you know.
Okay, well, that was a nice. That was extraordinary. I would say we haven't done that in the podcast up to now.
I don't think we've had any. You mean like drinking? Because we usually record in the morning.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
we don't record it usually in the morning.
I mean, we record it at night twice.
Three.
But it's episode 13. Statistically, it's still most of the time we record in the morning. Yeah.
So true.
Okay. So that's
a shout out to Bradley.
That's shout out to Bradley. Okay.
Hope you like our show.
Yeah. I mean, he likes us. So
okay.
So what's new? Suppliers. What do you want to say about suppliers? I have a beautiful topic that I want to talk about today. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know if I've already said it. I think I already did. But so please say what you want to say. Say it quickly so that we can get to my topic.
Definitely, I'm going to do that because my topic's not going to be definitely as interesting as yours. So I'm going to be really quick about it. Hopefully, everybody understands the speed I'm going to be talking about. No, honestly, I wanted to push the message about how we're building how we're building the Affiworks project a little bit further. It has been in a little bit stall last week, we have to admit. We've done some mental work, thinking about how to approach the project more efficiently, I would say. And because we managed to validate the project in terms of we actually are confident now that there is a demand for the product on the side of the.
I mean, we've seen some demand. We've spoken to property managers, and they seem to like the idea of the product.
Exactly.
Or service.
Exactly. So now we kind of stepped back a little bit, and we said to ourselves that it's time to start talking to the other side of the equation, and that's the suppliers. And basically, even I think we mentioned this in the last episode, but it's worth mentioning one more time. We realize that there has to be the suppliers that are going to be involved in the catalog, which we're going to be making, or which we're going to be offering to these property managers. They're going to have to be suppliers with the ability to make online reservations, at least for the beginning, at least from the start. So that kind of narrows the funnel, and we made a little short list of suppliers. We already contacted one, and the important part about the suppliers is that that's supposed to be a very useful vehicle for us to be able to sell the product, or offer the product to the property managers. That should basically make it easier for us to come and offer them a specific, what to say, choice of local suppliers, famous suppliers or renowned suppliers, and that shouldn't be a problem for the property managers to tell us, yeah, sure, we want to do that. Come on, help us around. What are we supposed to do so we can get on board Affiworks?
Yeah.
So that's probably the topic of the suppliers, and that's what happened last week.
And I think it's important to say that they must be people who are providing high quality service.
Absolutely.
So
yeah,
that it actually adds value to the visitors, to the clients, the guests. And for me personally, having these kinds of discussions, and this was kind of I don't know if I should say an eye opener, but it was just very interesting when we started when we spoke to one of the ladies who manages apartments in Playa del Carmen.
Yes.
And we were talking about the service, which is basically have an offer inside of your rental property, or send the offer through email to your guests coming in, so that it makes it easier for them to book. And and our messaging from the beginning was make extra money offering or cross-selling services of other companies.
Yeah.
And when we spoke to her, and we actually have a longer conversation, what she said and what she focused on, and I really like that. It's one of those moments when you think to yourself, okay, we're doing something really useful, and I'm feeling really optimistic about it. Is she said, oh, this is so great, because this is actually a great service for the guests, so that they don't have to go out on the street. They don't have to haggle for prices. They don't have to, like, they don't get chased by, but it's because it's very confusing. You get to a new destination, you get to a new town, whatever, and now you want to,
it actually,
I don't know, you just want to have fun, right? You want to have a good time. You don't really care about so much about, okay, is it going to be cheaper or not? I mean, of course, you don't want to overpay too much, or you don't want to overpay, generally speaking.
Yeah.
But you just want to make sure it's going to be easy, it's going to be fast, and you're going to have a good time. You don't want to go arguing over, I don't know, things when you're buying services on your holiday.
And supposedly you've already went through the process of basically doing your research, because you've already tried to find yourself a decent accommodation, and once you arrive on spot, or at least you've already maybe even had a previous experience, or the pre-experience up to now, the booking and the reservation was fabulous, then you suppose that this kind of partner is going to provide you and resell you and offer you again reasonable quality of service. So that kind of saves you a lot of time. At least I'm the typical person that kind of wants to take advantage of the first research, of the first type of work which I've done around traveling to a specific location, and then basically ask. Actually, what I do is I kind of attract the person and make him take responsibility for what he suggests to me. So it kind of works both way. That's what I consider a major benefit for the customers.
Major benefit. Here we go. Here.
Benefit. Do you know that we're actually copywriting? We're not supposed to be doing this. This is a copyright of this.
Really?
It's a joke from we have to acknowledge that, at least I know it's a joke from an American TV series called How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's copyrighted.
It's copyrighted. Well, I suppose it's copyrighted.
I can't believe it. Okay, so How I Met Your Mother. I didn't know. I think I got it from you. I thought it was just a typical dad joke.
It is
the kind of a joke where kids roll their eyes when they see you doing it.
It is a dad joke. I mean, if we acknowledge the authority, the origin, I guess we can use it, but we just have to mention it that we don't get shut down for liability reasons from YouTube.
It's like the joke that's my favorite joke when that kid comes and says, Dad, I'm hungry. And Dad says, hello, hungry. I'm Dad. Nice to meet you.
I know this is a joke I have from you as well. I kind of use it when I talk to kids around. It's so funny.
I don't know where it's from. I don't know if it's copyrighted. If it's copyrighted, I already owe millions of dollars.
Millions of billions,
millions of billions of dollars. No. These days it's about trillions. It's not about billions. Billions is not cool anymore. It's trillions. Wow. Okay. Anyway, So that's joking aside. That is, for me personally, that was a beautiful little epiphany. Speaking to the actual apartment managers. And seeing them how they understand the whole solution, because then you're not just of course, it's important, you want to make money, but it's not just about that. It's about providing good service, and if they understand that, that's really, really great. And so we got to a point now, I would say, where, because we started from, and we already mentioned that before, but we started from a point of, first of all, okay, is this potentially an interesting concept? We need to talk to, and we have that typical chicken and egg problem, because you have two sides of the equation. We're trying to build infrastructure, so we're going to need the resellers, which is whoever it might be. In the beginning, we thought these might be maybe social media influencers. As we move forward, we kind of pivoted to short-term accommodation providers.
Yes.
And that seems like it could be a good market. And now we're looking at, okay, so now we're going to need the suppliers, which I think should be the easier part of the whole equation. And as we kind of move forward and we keep changing, this is the truth is, for me personally, it's kind of challenging. It's mentally challenging, because you keep, it's not like you cannot follow a process, and that's part of the startup. It's part of the whole startup story. You cannot say, okay, here's a process, we're just going to follow it, and we know if we're going to follow the process, it's going to work. It's a new thing, so you need to figure out the process, and you try something and it works, or maybe it doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, you need to try something else, and you do that maybe every week, or maybe you do that a few times per week. So it's not an easy thing, because you put a lot of effort into things that maybe sometimes don't work, right?
You have to iterate as much as the process, as much as you feel that it needs to be done, because
exactly
you might get stuck in some kind of dead end, and this happened to us during this process a couple of times. But what we did, stuck to the grind, trying to figure out a solution, and just keep on moving, basically, with different iteration.
And so what I'm interested in right now, and I think this might be an interesting exercise. Maybe it's not for this podcast, but you got to try something, something new every now and then, and the worst thing that can happen to us is that we embarrass ourselves. On the other hand, after major improvements, I don't think we can go any further. But anyway, what's always intrigued me was the idea of fake it till you make it, and I don't think it's a particularly good strategy. Fake it till you make it. I think there might be something to it, but I think what you need to do is you need to be straightforward, and you need to do the right thing. But as I was as I was thinking about it today, I thought to myself, the thing is. And it's maybe it's just me, but I think when I'm thinking about having these conversations, or when I'm thinking about this business, I'm thinking about the things that I'd love to be able to say to these guys when I'm calling up the suppliers, for example, or if I'm calling up the accommodation providers, So there's something like, something like you're calling the suppliers and you want to tell them what, and here's the question. What is it that you want to tell them? Because I'm thinking to myself, okay, fake it till you make it. You don't want to do that. You don't want to fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what I think is interesting is that it actually tells you what it is that where you want to get the business.
Oh,
So
okay.
let's say, because like if I'm calling them, and that's an important for me, that's an important exercise. Because as we make these changes and so on, I think we look forward.
Yeah.
We look at what we're going to be doing a few weeks down the road, or where we kind of trying to get the business, but I don't think we really verbalize the actual like um on a in terms of how we would communicate it to people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's where you see it. That's like that's how you feel comfortable with where the business is. So let's say I'm calling the supplier. What is it that I want to tell the supplier?
Yeah.
And there's something that I'm preparing the script for right now. So there's something that we're going to be telling them right now. But at the same time, what is it that you would love to be telling them
Yeah. So
if you had everything in place? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. So you're actually taking advantage of this concept of faking it till you make it, but only to the sense that you're actually pretending that you already made it, and you want to basically internalize the feeling of what you would be delivering to them if you had already made it. And
Exactly, because like
uh,
if you think about fake it
yeah,
till you make it, you're
yeah,
just you're basically just saying what it is that you want. And so
exactly.
there's the only differentiator is the time and the effort that you need to put into it.
Yeah.
And so I think that's an interesting concept because um, there's a very deep question. It's a very difficult question for a lot of people to answer, and
Mm-hmm.
that is, so what do you want to do, who you
Yeah.
want to be, and so on. And I think that's kind of that, like if you could just like call somebody and you could say,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I'm this and that and this is what we do. I think that that's actually what it is that you want to, where you want to get to,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I never thought about it this way. I mean, I guess it's a
It's a it's a very interesting mind exercise. A very
yeah,
interesting mind exercise.
yeah,
And it's gonna be helpful. Again, I mean, last week we talked about cold calling and
yeah.
basically talking to people about propositions, and not actually selling to them, but actually trying to become their friends and trying to provide them a decent relationship status.
I would say build a relationship. I wouldn't say
Build a
become
relation,
friends,
or
but I would say like build a relationship.
all right, build a relationship. And today we're talking about this little concept, like a little mind exercise about actually uh, talking or addressing somebody with the inner feeling of actually having made it already, and or being what you want to
But also
become.
knowing where you're going, because I'm
And
thinking to
yes.
myself, like for example, so what's the difference? I mean, if I'm calling someone and I say, um, let's think about okay, so what is it I would like to tell them? And I'd like to actually tell them, okay, guys, we're working with 500 apartments here in your city who are interested in reselling your services, and we make XYZ. I don't want to say that right now. I mean, this is something that we can talk about maybe outside the podcast, but we make XYZ amount of bookings. And would you be interested in joining our platform? I think, and I think this is a very interesting value proposition for the suppliers, and then you can all, what you can do at that point, and this is just me, but I think what you can do at that point is you can say, guys, we're building this platform. We're building a platform where we want to have 500 apartments in your city. This is where we are right now, and would you like to be a part of it? And this is, I think, for me, this is a vision, and it's not like you're faking it. Of course, it's not going to be that easy in the beginning, but it kind of gives me, they kind of like, what's the moment when you will feel proud about the business?
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's a very nice concept. I like that. Perfect. Is that the topic you wanted to talk about?
Yeah.
This is awesome.
That's major.
That's major topic.
That's a major
major shift, major topic.
Major topic.
I wonder when somebody's gonna sue us about this, but whatever.
Yeah.
So that's actually a tool which we'll be using now.
It's a tool. Yeah, I think you can use it as a tool for your mind and for the preparation, because that's kind of what we're talking about right now, right? I mean, we're talking about, okay, we need to get going. We need to start contacting the suppliers, and I'm really keen on it. So I'm really keen on starting it. And in the last few days, because like there's been a lot of business that we had to do also around other things, not only Affiworks. So we didn't actually, and you've been sick at the same time, so we took it a little slow. And so I've been thinking about, okay, what do we do to get things going as fast as we can? And for me personally, this is like, okay, this is this might help us in the bigger picture, but because at the same time we've been talking to individuals, and I want to kick things up a little. I want to start going a little bit faster, because right now it's been a lot of like the heavy research, and like, is it gonna work? Is it not gonna work? And I think what we just need to do, we just need to go like, okay, goddamn, let's go.
Yeah, and do it. And we got to partner up with somebody who's bigger than an individual, and it's supposed that we need to push that forward. Totally.
Yeah, the whole world is waiting.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So that's episode 13. Today's episode 13.
Yeah, I think we kind of shared whatever we needed or whatever we wanted for this week. We had a nice shout out to somebody.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can't believe we've been doing this for 13 weeks. That's number one thing I wanted to say. And number two, what I want to say is that I really see, talking to you, obviously very hard for me to judge myself, but I can say that I just see so much improvement, talking to you in terms of the interaction, and like how we're learning to interact with the camera, with each other. It's just it's really nice how
I think it was just a matter of time, and a matter of time to get a bigger understanding of the meat and potatoes, putting me down to the grind, putting me down on the floor working, and that kind of basically gave me more stuff to share, to cooperate with. So
yeah,
I understand. You're a star as always. Okay, so if anybody wants to give us a shout, thank you for any comments. We're still working on our journey. Check out affiworks.com, and
Bradley, keep those comments coming. Love those comments.
Thank you.
It's good to see that we have some interaction.
Okay, exactly.
Share it with Anne Janice.
I can't wait to meet these people one day.
I think they might. I think they might come to the Czech Republic at one point. Bradley just sent me an email about his daughter. She's looking for an internship in the Czech Republic, and if that works out, marketing. And she's great. She's a really great young lady. Very friendly, as far as I can tell, hardworking. But it's I don't know. But if she takes after her dad, that's those are some good genes. A lot of fun as well, and responsible, of course. But I think if she makes it over to the Czech Republic, I think we're gonna see a bunch of stuff in Oz, and coming over as well to check out what's going on here. So that might be a very interesting experiance sometime in 2022.
Okay. Hopefully.
All right. With that amazingly positive shout out to Texas, I would say this has been episode 13 of Affiworks Owner Talk podcast. Yeah. Good talking to you. Great fun.
Yeah.
And talk to you again next week.
Yeah. Have a great week.
All right. Good luck. Take care. Bye-bye.